from the WYLN studios in Hazleton, Pennsylvania. WYLN Evening Edition at 5:30 starts right now.
Good evening. It's Monday, February 15th, 2016. I'm Paula Degnan in for Ann Gownley. More snow and slippery roads. What can we expect? Time now for a first look at our forecast. We go right to Chief Meteorologist Joe Garbacik in the Weather Center with the messy details. Joe?
Thank you very much, Paula. That's right. We do have some winter weather to talk about as we head through at least parts of the overnight hours. The good thing is with this system is, before all is said and done, it's going to be primarily rain. So if this would be all snow, we definitely would be looking at about a good foot or more of snow. It's not going to happen, but before the changeover does occur, we're going to be looking at the potential of some nastier travel, especially as we head into this evening and say part of the overnight hours before conditions start to improve and temperatures start to go up. Keep in mind now, across our area, temperatures are in the teens, in the 20s, so the atmosphere is cold enough to support all snow so far. Here's a look at our travel cameras across our region, Interstate 80 East at Route 93 through Interstate 80 at Route 309. You can see now the snow is falling across a lot of our viewing area with the exception of extreme northeastern PA. Roadways are still relatively wet, but as that snow comes down and it gets a little bit later tonight, some of them will become a little bit slippery out there, and it will become slick with the snow coming down, and eventually that's going to change over to sleet and then freezing rain, and then eventually after midnight it's going to change over to plain rain. And tomorrow, I'll tell you what, we're going to be looking at temperatures getting up into the 50s, so probably by the end of tomorrow you won't even know it probably did any kind of frozen precipitation out there. Won't even probably see much snow on the ground left, because we'll get up into the 50s and a decent amount of rain heading in our direction. But before that changeover occurs, specifically heading into this evening and through part of the overnight hours, we do have those winter weather advisories in effect for all of our viewing area. And that means we're going to be looking at that snow, which is overspreading our area. You can see how it's starting to make its way toward the north and east. The blues indicating all snow, pinks indicating a mixture, and of course the greens and yellows indicating all rain. So the stage is set. We have the snow that's going to start to fall, and it's falling across parts of our area right now as it makes its way toward the north and east. And again, as we head into this evening, those temperatures are going to start to rise, and as it does so, it's going to change the snow over to sleet, then to freezing rain, and then again over to all rain. Live 35 Skycast Doppler. You can see the snow falling right now. See through Bloomsburg and Danville, Shenandoah, Berwick, Hazleton area, Whitehaven region, down through Lehighton, making its way up toward the Wilkes-Barre and Scranton area, and up through Tunkhannock. And again, that's going to be the case through this evening. Notice those temperatures over the past 24 hours. Teens and 20s, high temperatures. Boy, tomorrow it's going to feel very mild. We're going to be looking at temperatures getting up into the 50s. Unfortunately, there's going to be rain present across our area. Here's a look at those temperatures right now. Pretty cold out there. 15 only in New Angola, 23 in Stroudsburg, 25 degrees in Berwick, 25 in Bloomsburg, and 25 degrees in Danville. I'll talk about the complete 7-day forecast coming up in just a few. Paula?
Thank you, Joe. A Hazleton man is behind bars on attempted rape and other related charges. Juan Carlos Morel Acosta allegedly sexually assaulted a 13-year-old female and threatened to kill her if she told anyone. It happened in November of last year. Hazleton police say they arrested the 39-year-old as part of an ongoing investigation. A fatal accident in Bear Creek Township over the weekend. Luzerne County Deputy Coroner Caitlin Keating identified the victim as 18-year-old Logan Siller of Bear Creek Township. State police say the crash happened as the 18-year-old lost control of his Subaru Impreza as he was rounding a curve. He slid off the road and into a tree. Police say 16-year-old Jesse Heron, 17-year-old Jordan Heron, and 17-year-old Sarah Kelly were all passengers in the vehicle and not seriously injured. The police report states that Siller was driving at a safe speed. Police say they're still not sure what happened. There was a fatal accident in Summit Hill last night. Not many details have yet been released. What we do know is a man died after being thrown from a car after it struck a tree on East White Bear Drive in that Carbon County community. The man, said to be in his early 20s, was pronounced dead at the scene. Investigators are still looking into what caused that accident. No cause yet for a fire that destroyed 3 vacant Shenandoah storefronts and damaged a bank early Sunday morning. The flames broke out around 4:15 in the back of a building at 911 North Main Street and spread. Portions of the roof of the building where it started collapsed. There were no injuries. A state police fire marshal from the Schuylkill Haven Barracks is looking for a cause. Another fire, this one in Kingston, and it happened last night. It broke out just before 11 in a home on Poplar Street. The fire appears to have gotten its start in the rear of the home, though there's no word yet on a cause, and again, there were no injuries. Coming up next, more news, weather, and sports headed your way, plus a look at a new way to contact the Hazleton City Police Department. You can do it anonymously from your cell phone or your computer. WYLN's Ann Gownley has more on that story with Hazleton City Police Chief Jerry Spizzali. Stay tuned.
You're watching WYLN News with Ann Gownley, Gary Perna, Julie Stefanovich, Paula Degnan, Chief Videographer Mike Lula, weather with meteorologist Joe Garbacik, and sports with Eric DeBerardinis.
Combined Insurance makes it easy to protect you and your loved ones by paying cash directly to you when you need it most. Whether you're looking for accident and sickness, disability, or life coverage, Combined Insurance has a policy to meet your needs and fit your budget. Call John Ravello, 570-499-0504 for an appointment to help determine the best coverage for you. That's John Ravello, 570-499-0504.
If you haven't found the perfect fishing getaway, you haven't been to Captain's Cove. Located on Henderson Harbor in upstate New York, Captain's Cove offers a variety of accommodations to please just about anyone. The motel, also located on the harbor, offers a magnificent view. Enjoy free morning coffee, air-conditioned rooms, cable TV, and HBO. The cottage can accommodate up to 8 people with 3 bedrooms, a complete kitchen, washer-dryer, 2 full baths, air conditioning, and outside grill and picnic table. Call us today for rates and information at 1-800-824-FISH.
There is no question that as the population is aging, the need for long-term care is on the rise. There are so many questions to ask when trying to decide the best care for a loved one. This week on The Storm, my guest will be Paula Hahn, Executive Director of Fritzingertown Senior Living Center. She will help us understand the questions to ask if we're considering some sort of care for a loved one. This week on The Storm, only on WYLN 35.
February is Heart Month. Besides keeping heart healthy, it's also a good idea to know what to do just in case. And it was a good thing that 14-year-old Daniel Lozano was paying attention. On the morning of December 27th, he heard commotion in his parents' bedroom. He found his mom screaming his dad's name as she looked down on him, his dad pale, still, with no pulse. That's when Daniel just went with what he had seen on TV many times. He started CPR with not having any formal instructions. When paramedics arrived, they said he did the right thing in his efforts. With February being Heart Month, physicians are urging those to get checkups and make sure their ticker is ticking properly. For more information on this story, you may visit lvhn.org. And so you know, Daniel's dad is doing fine and they consider him a hero. A Hazleton councilwoman is questioning the earned income tax revenue that the administration plans to use for covering operating costs. Grace Kuzo wants to know who authorized the administration to move the money around. She stated that Hazleton got into trouble once before over the way pension funds were used to cover other expenses. Mayor Jeff Cassatt and Director of Administration Jeff Prabula spoke with officials from the Public Employee Retirement Commission, who said that the city can use Act 205 EIT collection as a loan. The money must then be repaid before the end of 2016. The city needs to use the EIT revenue to meet payroll, along with over $216,000 in unpaid bills that Cassatt inherited when he took office in January. West Hazleton police are asking for the public's help in identifying a suspect in a retail theft. Police released a surveillance video of a man involved in the theft from local retailers. Anyone who may recognize the man on the screen is asked to contact West Hazleton Police at 570-455-3733 or dial 911. All calls will be kept confidential. Missing: an Xbox One Tomb Raider bundle gaming system. Store employees at the Best Buy in Wilkes-Barre Township say a man walked into the store, grabbed the item, and ran out, and was seen leaving the area in a dark blue or black Ford with 3 other males in the vehicle. Anyone with information on that is asked to contact Wilkes-Barre Township Police. A state lawmaker has proposed routing gas transmission pipelines along the Pennsylvania Turnpike. State Representative Scott Petrie of Richboro, which is suburban Philadelphia, says it would make sense. He's introduced legislation to give the Turnpike Commission authority to allow use of its right-of-way for commercial transmission pipelines and charge a fee for it. He says it's more sensible to have lines laid in the right-of-way of already existing roads rather than destroy environmentally sensitive areas. Petrie thinks a transmission fee would generate far more revenue than a severance tax for the Commonwealth. Petrie's bill doesn't specify a fee amount, but it would require a pipeline operator to have a valid fee arrangement with the Turnpike Commission. An announcement from the FunFest Committee. The Incredibles, which was to be played at the Cinema Draft House on February 21st, has been canceled. No word from those involved when or if it will be rescheduled. For more information, you can contact FunFest. Coming up next, how long will all this messy weather last this time? Chief Meteorologist Joe Garbacik will be back in with a full look at our forecast. Plus, WYLN is helping Hazleton police get the word out to fight crime. Stay tuned.
For over 25 years, Whitetail Preserve Shooting Range, 118 Boulevard Road, Bloomsburg, has provided professionally designed skeet, trap, and sporting clay fields. All stations are handicap accessible, with resident NRA certified shooting instructors on site. There are packages available to fit anyone's budget, restaurant and catering on site. Our facility is also available for weddings, business meetings, bachelor and private parties. Call 570-384-2314.
Hello, I'm Gary Perna from WYLN TV. Please join us this year as the Hazleton unit of the American Cancer Society presents the 38th annual telethon On the Road to Wellness. The telethon will be held Saturday, February 27th at our new home, the Health and Wellness Center at Hazleton. WYLN will be broadcasting live from 11 to 11 p.m. Join us for a day filled with great entertainment. The telethon is made possible by these sponsors.
Join us this week on Let's Talk Chiropractic. You'll meet Jeanette Oven, a woman who had not one but 2 car accidents and was left in such terrible condition that she eventually began to lose her mobility. After trying numerous doctors and taking numerous tests, it was the miracle of chiropractic that has finally got her up and moving and pain-free. Her incredible story this week on Let's Talk Chiropractic. Join us. Join us this week on Women Today. Hazleton now has a level 4 trauma center. Its coordinator is going to be here to tell you all about it. We've got a wonderful peach Chardonnay from Simply Homebrew. Kathy's going to make an amazingly impressive dish. We've got more winners and a very sweet, dog-loving young woman on the move. It's all coming up this week on Women Today. Join us.
Well, we got the snow now falling across northeastern Pennsylvania. Temperatures in the teens and 20s. The stage is set. You would almost think, hey, this is going to be a snowstorm by coming outside now. Well, it is part of a snowstorm, if you will, but very quickly temperatures are going to rise, and we're going to be changing all the snow that's falling now over to sleet, eventually freezing rain, and then all plain rain after the midnight hour, and rain into tomorrow, and we're going to be getting up into the 50s before all is said and done. So if you enjoy the snow, enjoy the next couple of hours. If you enjoy the rain, take a nap, wake up after midnight, and you'll start to see the rain coming down, and as well as tomorrow. All right, on to the graphic for the day. So we started out fairly quiet across our region, but very quickly we did see the snow starting to overspread our area from the south toward the north and east. And again, that's going to be the case as we head through the rest of this evening. Temperatures will be cold enough to support snow. But then you're going to start to hear those sleet pellets coming down. That means the changeover is already occurring, and then eventually it's going to be freezing rain and temperatures getting above freezing and getting up into the 40s and 50s by tomorrow. So that means we're going to be looking at all rain. So the bulk of this system will be in the form of all rain. If this was all snow, I'd be looking at probably a good foot or more of snow. It's not going to be the case this time around. But for now, we got the snow out there, and because of it, those winter weather advisories posted for our viewing area through this evening and part of the overnight hours before conditions start to improve. There you can see the snow on radar, Live 35 SkyCast Doppler, making its way toward the north and east, and again, this is all snow at this time. A little closer to home, you can see the snow falling from Bloomsburg through Mifflinville, Cunningham, Freeland, Whitehaven, Mountaintop area, down through Jim Thorpe, Weatherly, and Hometown. But there's going to be that changeover. Already temperatures have risen a degree or two. We're up to 18 degrees, and these numbers are going to rise quite quickly through the overnight hours, and again, that's going to make that changeover occurring. We still got the cold weather to talk about across the Northeast. It's only 26 in Buffalo, 22 in Boston, 28 in New York City, 34 degrees in Dayton, Ohio. But take a look at the rest of the nation. Still chilly in Atlanta, 51, but Jacksonville, it's at 70 degrees. Even Dallas is at 71, 61. Out in the central part of the nation, a little chillier in Minneapolis and Chicago, but eventually for tomorrow, boy, it's going to be nice temperature-wise. We'll be up into the 50s, at least upper 40s, let's put it that way. 24 Wilkes-Barre-Scranton International Airport, only 16 in Mount Pocono, but look out toward the west. That's the indication of some milder air, 31 in Erie, and it's above freezing already in Pittsburgh. Wyoming Valley area, we're in the 20s. Across our area, and there we got the snow spreading toward the north and east. Extended forecast looking like this, and what we can expect over the next couple of days. We got that mixture changing over to rain, turning colder for Wednesday and Thursday, even into Friday, and maybe a chance of some showers as we go into our Saturday. Daytime Pennsylvania lottery numbers: a pick 226, a pick 3055, and a pick 411. 7-3. Pick 5 numbers looking like this: 5, 7, 9, 2, 2, and a treasure hunt numbers 3, 6, 17, 22, and 28. We'll have more for you coming up after the break.
Tune in each week to WYLN TV 35 to watch the #1 Hazleton-based broadcasted television talk show, The Storm, hosted by Tiffany Cloud. Candidates, politicians, community leaders, and more appear on The Storm when they want to be heard. New shows air Wednesdays at 8 p.m. and these additional airtimes. Only on WYLN TV 35. We're your local network.
Hello, I'm Ann Gownley from WYLN TV. Please join us this year as the Hazleton unit of the American Cancer Society presents the 38th annual telethon On the Road to Wellness. The telethon will be held Saturday, February 27th at our new home, the Health and Wellness Center at Hazleton. WYLN will be broadcasting live from 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. Join us for a day filled with great entertainment. The telethon is made possible by these sponsors.
There's a new way to contact the Hazleton Police Department anonymously. It's all thanks to a new system the department is utilizing. WYLN's Ann Gownley has more from City Hall.
274-637. That's the number to text if you need to reach an officer within the Hazleton Police Department. See a crime? No information on a crime? If you text this number, police will immediately receive this information. Police Chief Jerry Spezial has introduced Text for Tips, a new way to contact the police department, and he says it's something that everyone who has a cell phone can use. It is also available to use on the computer by visiting hazletonpolice.com. In order to get the word out, Chief Spezial enlisted WYLN to help shoot a commercial introducing how the texting works.
We want to make sure that the message is clear, and that's why we shoot a commercial so that people can visualize what's actually occurring and why they're using the system. And this will give them a tutorial and make it much more easier for the public to understand how Text for Tips works.
And the best part for those wanting to remain anonymous, your personal information, including your name and telephone number that you're texting from, will not be visible.
This is 100% anonymous, so you can now help prevent or solve a crime by sending a text, speaking two ways, having a two-way dialogue between a police officer and the public, and be able to report crimes that you're sometimes afraid to be involved in. We don't need your name, we don't need your information. All you have to do is go back and forth, 100% completely anonymous. We couldn't give your information if we want to. We're not able to capture it because it goes through Canada. So this is a really good system. It's working around the nation, and this is just 21st century technology in policing.
Throughout his career in law enforcement, Chief Spezial says he's been using this system since 2001, and since it's worked wonders.
It has worked so tremendously. I can't tell you. We've led the state in guns in one city with this. We led the state with drug seizures. We've led in so many different things. We've solved homicides. We've taken down large-scale cartels with heroin and cocaine. This has just really turned into a great piece of technology that affords the public the ability to communicate directly with the police department.
With this new technology, Chief Spezial says it's a new beginning for the Hazleton Police Department and the community.
Please don't be afraid to use this. This is what it's for. It's for the community to communicate with us so that we can help make a safer Hazleton.
To send a tip through your phone, just text My Tips with no space and then your tip to 274-637. For more information, visit hazletonpolice.com. In Hazleton, for WYLN News, I'm Ann Gownley.
Coming up next, Eric Duberadinas is in with sports here on WYLN, plus Chief Meteorologist Joe Garbachik with one final look at our forecast. Stay tuned.
WYLN TV 35 has strong ties to the community, as evident in its commitment to important causes like the American Cancer Society and Helping Hand Society telethons. WYLN's commitment to Northeastern Pennsylvania continues with a broadcast of Hazleton's Fun Fest Parade and both the Christmas and St. Patrick's Day parades in Wilkes-Barre. In the summer, we broadcast the Weatherly and Giants of Spare Hill Climb, and throughout the year, we provide important community services through the broadcast of town meetings, school board meetings, election night coverage, and other events. WYLN, we're your local network.
Tune in every Sunday night on WYLN from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. for hard-hitting, high-flying, non-stop action as only Pennsylvania Premier Wrestling High Voltage can bring you. That's Pennsylvania Premier Wrestling every Sunday night on WYLN. I'll see you in the ring.
It's banner time. District playoffs tip off this week with teams with 2 goals in mind: add a banner and advance to state playoffs. WYLN breaks down district hoops in our area.
We start with District 2, where everybody gets to play if they want to. On the boys' side, Hazleton will be the top seed in the Quad A sub-regional and receive a bye, as they seem destined for a championship matchup with Abington Heights. The Cougars completed the Wyoming Valley Conference schedule undefeated. Valley West could be a tough out in the quarterfinals. In AAA, GAR, Nanacoke, and Crestwood, the teams to watch. The Comets have been upset in the second round the past 2 seasons and are hoping to avoid that trend this year. 3 teams advanced to states from this class, but the favorite has to be Scranton Prep out of the Lackawanna League. Don't sleep on Berwick, who will host their first ever district playoff game. Tunkhannock, Pittston, Lake Lehman, Dallas, Wyoming area, and Coughlin also competing in this bracket. AA. Myers unbeaten in conference, but so is Elk Lake in the Lackawanna, so those 2 could be on a collision course towards the final. Wyoming Seminary and Holy Redeemer with some potential, while Hanover and Northwest seem poised for first-round exits. In Single A, MMI Prep hasn't had the best season, but you never know what will happen when they finally play schools their size. Girls' turn, Hazleton also the class of Class 4A. They'll be the top seed, aiming to avenge a sub-regional championship loss to Pittston last year. Those Patriots and Valley West both lurking as the number 3 and 4 seeds, respectively. Nanacoke enters the postseason on a complete tear and as the best team in AAA. They proved too much for the Wyoming Valley Conference, but could get some competition from Abington Heights. Dallas a sleeper in this group. In AA, it looks like we'll get another title game rematch with Holy Redeemer and Dunmore. The Lady Bucks surprised the Lady Royals last year, and although some pieces are missing from each side, that matchup would be a great one. And in Single A, MMI gives great effort, but simply outmatched in talent and numbers. So, who will have the right to soon hang banners in their gyms? The next 2 weeks will tell us. Of course, WYLN Sports will have highlights throughout district and state playoffs. But next, a final look at your forecast. Stay tuned.
At Whitetail Preserve, they pride themselves with giving their guests 5-star service. They are now open for lunch 6 days a week and offer limited delivery service for lunch to businesses in Cunningham, Valmont, and Humboldt Industrial Park. Call them at 570-384-2314.
Hello, I am Eric DeBaradinas from WYLN TV. Please join us this year as the Hazleton unit of the American Cancer Society presents the 38th annual telethon on the road to wellness. The telethon will be held Saturday, February 27th at our new home, the Health and Wellness Center at Hazleton. WYLN will be broadcasting live from 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. The telethon is made possible by these sponsors.
We know there are thousands of people all across the country, just like us, waiting for their songs to be heard. Our mission is to hit the road, find them, and bring them into the daylight. And oh yeah, we're gonna have a blast along the way. This is the Songwriters Roadshow.
This week on Topic A, we're talking about the 5th annual Taste of Theater with the PTPA. Also, we're going to hear about their new show that's getting ready to hit the stage this March. That plus so much more this week on Topic A, only on WYLN.
Alrighty, well, we got those winter weather advisories in effect as we go into this evening, but then conditions do improve as we go through the overnight hours. Temperatures will get above freezing, so we go from snow, then we'll go over to sleet, then we'll go over to freezing rain, and then eventually we'll be dealing with plain rain. And before all is said and done tomorrow, we're going to be up into the 40s for daytime high temperatures, and many areas will actually be in the 50s, which basically means we're going to be looking at all rain, and we can be looking at a good ½ inch, 3/4 of an inch of rain.
And then 15 and 12 later in the week?
Yeah, how about that?
48, 15 and 12?
This is why people are sick this time of year.
Absolutely. Well, just be careful driving tonight and stay healthy. Have a great evening. 50.